Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Now, yesterday a lot of Arsenal fans getting really excited because Mauro Icardi's agent, Nara Wanda, was in the UK according to her phone location. She tweeted out a message and on it you could clearly see that she was in London. Now, was this fake or was this her playing games? You know what? I'm starting to look at this and I've had a bit of worry about this right from the start, but it is starting to look like we are getting played here at Arsenal, especially when you see what Mauro Icardi has come out with today. Now, Corriere dello Sport yesterday reported that his wife was going to be in the UK, and she looked like she was in the UK. Corriere dello Sport today report that Icardi is happy and he wants to stay at Inter Milan. Now, Icardi's come out with this big long interview that he done with Corriere dello Sport. I'll read you some of the excerpts of it. He said, "I'm here and I'm happy here. I say it all the time. I have a contract with Inter until 2019 and they're my team. For everything else, it's the club that has to speak. I'm working to improve my game, to play well and to provide options for the coach. My entire family's objective is to stay in Milan. I have never concealed the fact that I'm happy in this city, as are Wanda and the children. Milan is our home, and that's why she talks with the club. We're trying to find a solution. For now, Wanda deserves an A+ as an agent, and she's working very well." That's definitely true. She does deserve an A+ as an agent. "I'm a professional and I'm acting like one. I do what I must, and I think we've worked well on the pitch so far and in the training camp. Things are going very well." He goes on to say, "When I chose Inter, I wanted to affirm myself in these colours, and the objective hasn't changed. We've reached the Europa League in the first season, missed it in the second season, made it in the third. Now we're ready to come back to Europe as protagonists. Me wearing other colours, I tell you the truth, I'm an Interista," which is an Inter fan, "very much an Interista. This is my team, I'm a fan, and these are my colours. There's a strong bond. Football is a business and anything can happen, but I'm wearing the captain's armband at Inter. I've been here for 3 years and my objective is to win the Nezeruzzi and I want to make it." And those are some of the quotes coming from Mauro Icardi. So basically he's saying in that interview that he wants to stay at Inter. Inter's his club, that's where he wants to stay. He does, however, in a couple of occasions drop in there, but you know, anything could happen. It's a business. I'm leaving it to Inter. Then you've got his wife on the other hand, over here in London, making noises that, you know, she's trying to negotiate a better deal. And I just think that Arsenal getting used a bit in this whole deal thing. You know, she knows that, and he knows that Arsenal desperately in need of a striker. He's, to me, and I've kind of suspected this from the beginning, he's trying to get himself a better deal. He's on about 60 grand a week at the moment at Inter Milan, and he's the captain, right? Now, he's obviously looking at it and thinking, you know, if I went to Arsenal, I could be getting £100,000 a week. Or if I was at one of these other clubs like Atletico Madrid or what the clubs that are interested in me, I could be getting like £90,000 a week. I want more money. How do I do that without getting on all the fans' backs? I'll make my agent be hawking me around. I'll keep saying I'm loyal, and if it does end up that I move, it seems like I tried to stay. It's the classic. And at the moment, I'm kind of getting the feeling that Arsenal getting used here, and I'm kind of getting the feeling that the Icardi deal won't happen. Listen, stranger things have happened, but at the moment, to me, I don't know about this one. The Icardi thing for me doesn't look like a deal that is going to happen. Which then means, who do Arsenal get? That's another striker down. I already told you this week about Morata, that looks highly unlikely. If Icardi's down, Higuain's just looking way out of range for that price. I mean, the president of Napoli has come out and has said he has no offers from Arsenal, and he's invited Arsenal. You know, like, come on in, let's see what you're made of. Put your offer in. But he's wanting like £85 million. Arsenal not going to pay that. I just can't see it. So nearly all the striker options seem to be just disappearing. Or what about Lacazette? I don't get it. Why we haven't yet tried to make a move for Lacazette, or obviously Arsenal just don't rate him, because you're going to have to pay over the odds for these players. Look at what United are going to have to pay for Pogba. You're going to have to pay over the odds. Simple as. But as I always say, let's wait and see what happens. We're being linked today with Moussa Sissoko again. Now, Sissoko was originally being linked with Arsenal even before the Euros. And at that time, Newcastle was saying that the valuation would be about £20 million. After how they saw how he played at the Euros, all of a sudden, price shot up to 35 million, right? Which they're not going to get that. But there are quite a lot of clubs looking at Sissoko. Newcastle losing so many players. I think Wijnaldum's about to join Liverpool. So they're going to not want to lose Sissoko, but I don't think Sissoko is going to want to stay there. Arsenal, I think he'd do alright at Arsenal, but we just got so many midfielders. That is the problem. But Arsenal again linked to him. Linked with another midfielder today, and that is Arda Turan, another guy we've been linked with before. Arsene Wenger, a big admirer of Arda Turan, and reading today that he would be happy to sign Turan for about £20 million. He thinks that's a bargain price for such a quality player who moved last season, don't forget, for nearly £30 million to Barcelona, but it just hasn't worked out for him there. He was a really, real top player when he was playing at Atletico Madrid. So, again, that's another one we're going to have to keep our eyes on to see if that possibly happens for Arda Turan. Wojciech Szczesny is an interesting one. Szczesny, of course, was on loan at Roma last season. Now, we're reading today that Roma would like to take him on a permanent deal. That's been the sticking point. I mean, Arsenal apparently wanted to just loan him back again for this season. Roma are saying, no, you know what, we want him on a permanent deal. So they're apparently negotiating that at the moment. It's known that, Arsene Wenger likes Wojciech Szczesny and they'd like to keep him. Maybe that's the sticking point, but still nothing. He's still back at Arsenal at the moment. We're not sure what's happening, but Roma would like Wojciech Szczesny on a permanent deal. This next one was very intriguing when I saw this one. Now, again, this is the sort of one that winds Arsenal fans up. Clinton NG plays for Spurs. I think they only bought him last year. Hasn't really kicked off for him. He can't get into the team. When he has got into the team, he hasn't looked a very good player, to be honest. He's looked very average and hasn't been able to kick it into that Spurs team. And then we're reading today now that Spurs were negotiating a deal for NG to move to Marseille, either on loan or even on a permanent deal. So they're talking to Marseille at the moment. And apparently Arsenal made an inquiry to Spurs about NG, about if they'd be interested in selling him to us, the Cameroon international. And Spurs turned around and told us to get lost. What's happening to us? What is happening to us? NG. I don't know. And finally, Arsene Wenger, apparently it's all over the press today that he was the first choice for the England job and he turned the job down. Sam Allardyce, as we all know, is going to be announced as the next England manager, but apparently England's first choice for that job was Arsene Wenger and he turned that down. Now listen, for a lot of Arsenal fans out there, if he don't start getting some transfer business done, I think there's a lot of fans out there would have liked him to have taken that job straight away. But listen, let's get into a few of your comments. James DJ says, maybe Wenger will try to turn Rob Holding into a striker. And he's got a hashtag bargain, hashtag Wenger out. He's not a fan, obviously. Hioxavo, he suggests a couple of players that Arsenal and Wenger should be trying to sign. Carrasco, Mahrez and Rodriguez. The Rodriguez thing has gone really quiet, isn't it? I mean, we were supposed to be well in for him, but that's not seems to be happening. Ishan Joshi says, just go for Lacazette. He's around 50 million, but he's still worth it. I agree with the guy. And last one here, LVR Soul, he says, if we're going to spend 80 million, we should spend it on Griezmann, not Higuain, not Aubameyang, or buy Draxler for 55 million. Okay? Will Arsene Wenger do any of that? That's what we're going to find out. I mean, the season is nearly upon us. We're playing Lens tomorrow in a friendly. We're over to America next week. What are we doing? I mean, still no signings. You know, it is frustrating for Arsenal fans right now. You know, it really is. I mean, I think all of us, one marquee signing would just get our spirits up so much for the season ahead. We've got a good squad. I was looking at our squad yesterday and I was comparing it to all of the other teams in the Premier League, all of the other top teams. And I'm telling you, we've got an excellent squad. We're just lacking a couple of items. We all know that. And one of them is a striker. If we can get that striker in next season, we have nothing to fear from the other teams. We really don't, but we've got to make that count.
You feel strained because you want to play, you want to be there with Spain, enjoy this great competition, but you never know in football. It's the same that in the World Cup 2010. I was injured a long time. I don't have opportunity to play for this tournament, but football, it's the future, present. So now I only think about Arsenal, to enjoy, to be well in great feeling. So we will see next season what's happening.